What's up there, beautiful people? I am so excited to be here and welcome to 20K by Christmas challenge, a 5-part series on how to create brand new money without adding shit ton of work to your plate. If you're new to me, hi, my name is Maria, and I have devoted the last 18 years of my life to coaching, mentoring, supporting leaders across 3 different industries, from professional ballroom dancing to marketing and advertising to online business. In the last 5 years alone, I've created over 15 million in impact. And I like to say impact because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. And to those closest to me, this is my unofficial reputation. To those closest to me, I am known as someone who can make money out of thin air. And that's not by accident. This is as a result of many, many years of practice, trial and error, and really understanding what goes into not only creating the kind of experiences that deeply move and touch people, but also being able to very clearly articulate the value of what it is that you do, so that when those that you are meant to be working with discover you and come into your world, they're like, yes, you are my person. This is exactly what I need. Let's do this, right? But this challenge was actually born as a little bit of a insider offering. I am doing this real time with our global Enagic team. And it also has been a pretty substantial focus with my coaching clients. And at first, that was it. And then I had a bit of an aha moment, right? Why not share it with my bigger audience and make it available to the public? Because what I know about this time of year is that it can be stressful with the holidays, with the family, with all the things that are going on. There is this tendency for a lot of entrepreneurs to take everything they did not do throughout the entire year and squeeze it into the final quarter of the year, from responsibilities, obligations, desires. And so I wanted to create something that is playful, that is of a lot of value, but it's something also that will continue to serve you over and over and over. So here's how this challenge is going to go. So I'm going to go live with a daily training Monday through Friday. So starting today is part 1, right? And every day is going to be about one particular energetic and strategic concept that I'm going to share with you. And the intention behind this concept is to really help you not only create, attract, and receive more without necessarily doing more, but it's also to help you feel really, really grounded inside of your business. Because one thing I know, okay, this is for a lot of entrepreneurs, and I'm guilty of this myself, right? Is like whenever you set your financial goals, set a target for yourself, there is almost like this mystique around it. Is like, how the fuck am I going to do that, right? So we want to eliminate any sort of like mysticism out of it, and we want to have a really practical, really grounded conversation around what it's actually going to look like. I have no intention of sugarcoating it for you, okay? So I hope you're ready to have a very transparent conversation this entire week. And then every day there is going to be an action step that I'm going to be inviting you to do. Obviously, duh. And if you've already messaged me to say that you want to participate in this challenge, then you're going to get a text back from me with your link to the accompanying playbook that kind of goes hand in hand with this challenge. If you have not messaged me yet, but you do know that you want to participate in this challenge, then either grab the link somewhere in the description here or send me a message. There is an actual playbook that is yours. That's my gift to you. It gets populated every day because every day builds on top of the previous day, and I would hate for you to get ahead of yourself, right? And so please know that if you jump in here and you only see part 1, that is on purpose, okay? Now, let's start with the big picture. As I said, this challenge was born first internally, right? Just the people in my world already. And when I made the decision to kind of open it up, my intention with it is to first kind of bring us all together, right? I know so many of us want to create more with greater ease, and we want to make ourselves available to receive things and be in this very delicious co-creation with life and with other humans. And so my intention first and foremost is to show you how fun, how simple, and how fulfilling it gets to be to create new opportunities for yourself instead of just waiting for them to come to you. I had so many people reach out to me and say, hey, should I do this challenge? Is this challenge for me? And they ask that question because they're in different seasons of life, they're in different parts of their business. And what I know is that if you have an underlying desire to either make more money or master receivership or eliminate confusion inside of your own business, okay? And you want to stretch yourself, or option D, all of the above, you are definitely going to take something away from this challenge, guaranteed. Some days are probably going to be more impactful than others, but regardless, you are going to enjoy the experience. And my active invitation for you here is that if you're going to be half watching, if you're coming here to just consume information and to passively listen along, hoping that things, like my old mentor used to say, automatically sort themselves out, I would much rather give you your time back. Okay. This is not a passive sit back, take notes, do nothing kind of experience. I'm really seeing this challenge as a live experiment. Live experiment in creating results now, not later. Okay. You can create results now. You don't have to wait. And as part of that, please, 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 please do not overthink your ideas and your impulses. Like, do not kill the inspiration by getting stuck in your own head and trying to perfect it and overplan it to the point that it never sees the light of day. You're going to feel inspired in this process. You're going to have ideas, and the breakthroughs are going to come from you actually following through on those ideas. Now, I do want to clarify what this challenge is and what it's not, okay? This challenge is not a manifestation challenge, okay? This is not one of those where you're just gonna sit back and visualize and journal and just hope that money is gonna appear out of thin air, out of nowhere. Now, that can happen, but this is not that kind of challenge, okay? This is a sales challenge. This is a sales challenge because you can do all your mindset work. You can do all of your healing work. You can do all of your manifestation work. You can do all of those things all day long. And for so many leaders, for so many entrepreneurs, sales is the missing link. And sales is how we share our genius with others. Sales is how we circulate the energy of love in such a way that people say thank you with their money. Sales is how we create value. It's how we serve. And sales, if you ask me, is one of the most transformative exchanges and transactions that could ever happen. And so please know that this is what we are here for. And if you have any kind of weird energy or discomfort around the subject of sales, then you most definitely need to do this challenge, because I'm going to rub off on you. Okay. You're going to fall in love with the sales as a result of this experience. And we're going to dive deep into the energetics of sales on day 2. This is our second part, right? Which is going to be tomorrow. But we're going to start off with the foundation. My hidden agenda with this challenge is to, yes, show you how fun, simple, and amazing it gets to be. Yes, to help you fall in love with sales. Yes, to generate new money and new energy in your life and your business and the way that you show up. And if I were to just put my hands on my heart, what I want you to recognize as part of this experience is that all of it, your life, your business, your money, your work, all of it is a game. All of it is a game. And no one makes the rules except you. Nobody makes the rules. You make the rules, which means that your limitations, those are the rules that you created for yourself. Your possibilities and your genius ideas, like that means you came up with it. Like no one else came up with none of that stuff, right? Somebody once upon a time who said, you know what, I think this is kind of how it works. And they started talking about it and perpetuating it over and over and over until we all said, you know what, I like this, I buy into it. Or we didn't even use our discernment to say, I like it, I agree with it, it makes sense to me, I'm going to buy into it. We just take it on. And so my underlying undercurrent here that I would love for us as a collective to kind of feel into and embody is that, hey, all of this is a game. It's not that serious. And this is a money challenge. And at the end of the day, it's not about the money whatsoever. For a lot of people, it is going to be about the money because that's the breakthrough that they need. That is the transformation that they need. But for most of us, this is actually going to be an experience of figuring out and discovering and showing yourself what you are capable of. And I personally am really excited about this because I truly believe that we need more money in the hands of people with good hearts. That's how we actually get to vote our values, and that's how we actually get to make a difference. And that's how we actually get to have a positive ripple effect in the world by taking care of ourselves and our families and our homes. Like when we do that, we cannot not have a positive, uplifting, empowering impact out in the world. Like we cannot not, right? And so know that there's this monetary figure of 20K, but for you, it might be 2K, 20K, 50K, 100K. Truthfully, the number does not matter. The concepts are going to be relevant to all of those things. And no matter what result you create as part of this challenge, it's going to be infinitely better than zero, which is what it would have been if you did absolutely nothing. Does that make sense? Even if you aim for 20K, but you only make 2K, that is infinitely better than if you did absolutely nothing and you had 0K. Okay? So whatever your experience is going to be like, I'm excited for you. And I want to invite you to imagine what it would be like, what it would feel like for you to finish this year. Whether you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever winter holiday is your holiday, and you are surrounded by your loved ones and you sit there around the dinner table, celebrating, acknowledging, being together and saying, you know what? I did that. I did that. And they look at you and they say, you know what? You did that. You did that, right? What would that mean for you short term and also long term? Does it mean that you finally figured it out? Does it mean that you finally understand what goes into this elusive equation of making money on demand? Is it that you're finally going to feel lighter because there's going to be some wiggle room in your finances? Is it going to feel expansive because you're finally going to be able to go on vacation? Like, why are you here? Because sure, it's about the money, but it's also not about the money. And so the first thing is I really invite you to dig a little deeper and go, why are you here? I had some past coaching clients of mine message me and said, hey, I'm going to be joining this challenge because I'm pretty sure I'm in the space where I can actually integrate the things that you most likely taught me many years ago, right? Now I'm ready. What is that why for you? Like, what is your reason? Because chances are, if you're in this space, is that you've been at it for a while. Like you've been doing the thing. And I want you to know that I know that you've been doing the thing. You've been reading the books. You've been doing the courses. It's not like you've just been sitting there and doing absolutely nothing. No, you've been doing your part. And you've been doing the inner work and you've been putting some things out there and you have been showing up, whether consistently and diligently or, on and off. It doesn't matter. Let's not judge. But you have been doing your part. And my guess is that there is a part of you that says, but what the fuck am I missing? Like, why is it not clicking for me? Because you do your part and you look around and you see people who made more this month than you did the entire year. And you go, what the fuck is wrong with me? Right? I mean, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Okay. But if that's the case, most likely, and this is purely based on my own experience and my own observation, most likely you do not have a clear understanding on how to turn nothing into something. Because think about it. If we want to create a certain monetary result, first we have an idea, first we have a vision, and now we need to take it out of this invisible space that's floating over here, and we need to turn it into this tangible thing called dollars in the bank account, or this tangible thing called transactions in our Stripe. Whatever that is, we want to turn nothing from a tangible perspective into something that we can interact with, use, and experience. And so if you are here, most likely you don't have yet clear understanding of what that equation is. And however you've been trying and attempting to do it up until this point, there's probably a disconnect somewhere. And maybe it could be literally a 1 degree shift that has a huge impact. It might be a pretty big gap. We're going to see, right, as a result of this week. But I want to share with you literally what I see as the equation. It's kind of like 1 + 1 = 2, right? We want to be able to go, okay, if I want this, then I need to do 1 + 1 so that I can have 2. And I want to bring out of this inspiring, like, oh my God, these concepts sounds amazing, to like the practicality of, okay, what do we actually need to do? Because the reality is that there is someone out there who is less experienced than you, less qualified than you, less caring than you, less talented than you, less intelligent than you, making a lot more money than you. And whatever your goal is, 5,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. Again, the number is irrelevant. Whatever your goal is, there's someone less qualified than you who's already made that before you even had your morning coffee today. And so the question becomes, what's the difference between them and you, right? I mean, you know your shit. You care about others. You do good work. How come they have figured it out and you haven't? And if you ask me, it does boil down to those 3 things. First, deciding that this is what you're going to do, deciding that this is what you want, doing what's necessary until it is so, and then hopefully blessing a lot of people along the way. And I say hopefully because not everyone out there has integrity. Not everyone out there moves from their heart. Not everyone out there cares about humans the way that we do in this space. And I say we because otherwise we would not be attracted to each other. Somehow you landed in this space, you landed in this video. And what I know about people in my community is that we all value integrity. That's kind of like at the top of our list. And so this week is going to be about demystifying that and really going into what are the components in that equation, and especially like how does that apply to my business. Okay. And so there's 5 parts to it. I'm not really going to reveal all 5 parts. Okay. I'm going to take you on a journey, starting with the foundation. The other day, as I said, this challenge, I'm doing it with our global Enagic team. And I asked them, I'm like, okay, so here we are, right? We're going for 20K before Christmas. Some of them for a little more, some of them for a little less. Again, doesn't matter. The number, irrelevant. And so I asked them, I was like, what do you think you need in order to be able to make that happen? What do you think you need? And they had all kinds of answers. And what we landed on in that conversation is that there are a million ways, there are a million strategies in which you could do it. One of them is, yes, you could sit there and you could meditate and you could visualize and you could journal, and then life is going to just out of nowhere surprise and delight you with 20K. Like that could happen in the field of infinite possibilities. There is that possibility that you do nothing and it just comes to you. Okay. But I don't know if you want to take your chances. Now, there are other ways, right? You could do more, you could come up with more offers, like you could message more people, you could do a launch, you could do like all these things. And what we landed on in that conversation is that there is no first and foremost right or wrong strategy. All strategies work and none of the strategies work. What works for me is not going to work for you. What's going to work for somebody over there is not going to work for me. And so if you are here watching live or on the replay and you are hoping that I have the answer for you about what you need to do in order for you to make your money, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I don't have that answer. I don't know what you should do. I have a framework, I have the equation, but the details of what you will need to do are for you to figure out. You need to figure out your own recipe. I'm going to support you this week. I'm going to help facilitate that. But first, I want to give that responsibility back to you, and I want to give that power back to you. I don't have your answer. You have your answer. My job is to help facilitate you in arriving at that answer inside of your inner landscape, inside of your business, inside of how you show up and how you serve. But let's just kind of level the playing field here and say, like, there is no right or wrong strategy, okay? They all work and none of them work. And what makes a strategy work is not the strategy itself, it's you. You make the strategy work, okay? More specifically, your emotional conviction is what makes the strategy work. What does that mean? What does it mean? Your emotional conviction makes the strategy work. In other words, you believe it's going to work, it's going to work. You don't believe it's going to work, it's not going to work. Okay? As simple as that. Nothing works without belief. Not the strategy, not your offer, not your content, not some magic bullet point list to success that some guru gave you. If you don't have belief, if you don't have inner knowing, if you don't have that conviction, game over, right? Because again, there are a million different strategies to build your business. There are a million different strategies for you to grow your income and your impact. Right? What works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another person. And so we want to start with this mutual understanding that certainty is the foundation. You have to decide right now that regardless of what strategy you end up picking and the action steps you end up taking, you have to decide that what you want is possible for you. Not only is it possible for you, it is probable for you. And not only is it probable for you, but it will be so because you've decided that it will be so. You don't know when, you don't necessarily know how, but it will be so. And so we have to start there. We have to start with, okay, the name of this challenge is 20K by Christmas. Again, you might have your number. The number is irrelevant. Yours might be 2K, 20K, 200K. I don't care. Your number is your number. The question is, how certain are you in that number? How certain are you that you can make that happen? How certain are you that if you do what's necessary, it's literally a next natural step? And so bringing it back to the conversation that I was having with the team, I was like, what do you think you need in order to be absolutely certain in this outcome? What do you need in order to be certain that 20K before Christmas is a done deal? Like, what do you need? And they all had wonderful answers, right? And before I tell you their answers, what is your answer? What do you need in order to have absolute certainty that what you want is a done deal? There is no need to question it. There is no need to doubt it. There is no need to justify it. There is no need to explain it. It's just like, this is what I want. Thank you very much. Done. What do you need in order for that to be the case? Now, the members of our team had wonderful answers, and those are the answers that a lot of people would have. They're like, well, I need a mentor. I need someone that I can work with and kind of follow in their footsteps and borrow the belief and certainty from those that have gone before me and they know that it's possible. I could borrow belief from my mentor or my mentors. Some of them said, look, I just need to serve more because if I help more people, I'm going to get helped. Someone said, I need to do more. I need to stop procrastinating and I need to just do what I said I'm going to do so that I can build that self-trust. And if I have that self-trust to act on what I say I'm going to do, then I'm going to do it. Some of them said, look, I actually do need to work a little harder, right? And I need to do more, create more content, message more people, you name it. Some of them said, I actually just need to take a moment and connect with the fact that everything always works out. And if I were to look back, I can see that everything I always set out to do, I did, and it always worked out in the way that I wanted to, even if in the middle, it didn't seem like it. And in the middle, it was messy. And in the middle, it was all over the place. And in the middle, I thought that everything is just crumbling and I'm failing and I'm doing a horrible job. In the end, it all was working out every step of the way. And you know what? All of those answers are the right answers, okay? They're valid and they are partial, okay? If I were to zoom out and radically simplify what we all need in order to have certainty in our outcome and certainty along the way as we act on our inspired ideas, it would be to operate as the version of you that already did it. Golden nugget. In order for you to have certainty, you want to operate as the version of you who already did it, because that version of you already did it. So that version of you knows that it can be done because she, he, they did it. And so if you can learn to channel and to embody and to move as that person, then that's pretty much what is required, is it not? The only reason we doubt and the only reason that we fear and the only reason that we hesitate is because we rely a little bit too much on the evidence of our past experience rather than the emotional conviction of our future self who's already did it. Because whatever goal you set for yourself, whether it is going to be 20K by Christmas or more or less, doesn't matter. Whatever goal you set for yourself, you're setting that goal because it means something to you. There is a deeper meaning there. And you're setting that goal because there is a part of you that can see it, right? You get those glimpses like, oh, I could do it. Ooh, that feels good. Oh, that feels expansive. Oh, that feels like a stretch. So there is a part of you that can feel the resonance with that goal and feel the resonance with that number. And that is not random. That is literally the preview of your future. That's the trailer. That's the trailer of what's about to happen. And the practice, the daily practice, is to go, how do I show up as her? How do I show up as him? How do I show up as them? Because it's her, him, and them that have the answer. I don't have the answer. No one outside of you has the answer. It is only your future version of you that already exists that has the answer. So then the question becomes, how does that version of you think? How does that version of you feel on a day-to-day basis? How does that version of you operate? How does that version of you invest time, money, energy? How does that version of you make decisions? How does that version of you lead? What kind of people surround that version of you? And what is normal for that version of you? What is normal? We want to tap into whatever the version of normalcy is for our future self. Now, I want to make a distinction. You can believe in that version of you, or you can know yourself as that version of you. And there is a huge difference, because anytime we say, oh, I have belief, like I think I could do this, right? There's just undertone of doubt ever present. Yeah, I believe, but I think I could do it and maybe not, right? We're in this sort of like one step forward, two steps back kind of situation where we have enough belief to say, yes, I think it's possible, but not quite enough belief to just say, done deal, right? And so we want to dig deeper into your inner knowing. Because belief is purely mental, right? What is a belief? A belief is just a thought that you keep thinking. In other words, it's a thought that you keep practicing. Sure, thoughts are important, but what's more important is your energetic set point, is your frequency, is just the energy that you radiate. And so sure, you can be practicing different thoughts, but if that's all you do, if they stay mental here, that doesn't really counterbalance the gravitational pull of your past experiences. We need heavy artillery to disrupt the gravitational pull of your past experience, which means you need something that shifts your entire being to such a degree where you start seeing that, hey, actually it gets to be simple. Hey, actually it gets to be fun. Hey, actually it gets to be amazing and fulfilling and abundant and spacious and peaceful. And every day gets to be this grand adventure where I love every single moment of every single thing that I'm doing and the reasons I'm doing them for. So our focus then becomes to cultivate within ourselves that deep emotional conviction, because a belief is just a start. It's like a spark, right? We need a full-on fire. And for us to move from the spark to the full-on fire, we need to first dig deeper, and we want to keep seeing if we can connect with that place of deep knowing that knows that this is a game and you make the rules and you are one with God in your understanding of God, and there are no limits except the ones that you place upon yourself. And so that's the assignment. That's the assignment. Now, how do we do that? That sounds wonderful, Maria, but how do we actually do that? We started this training by acknowledging that this is not a manifestation challenge. This is a sales challenge. And it is a sales challenge because sales is how we make money on demand. Sales is how we make money in real time. We need to trade something. We need to exchange something. And so it's always a conversation of energy. It's always an energetic conversation and a practical conversation. We need both. And both need to be in unison, both need to be in alignment. You need to be internally on board and you need to be externally on board. It has to be one, okay? Because if internally you have a conflict and externally you're trying to do all the things, blah, 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 here is what's going to happen. And I'm just giving you a heads up because it is going to happen. I know right now we are in day one, we're all excited. We're like, yes, I can do it. I've got Maria in my corner. I'm pretty sure I can do it. Okay. But guess what? Day 2, day 3, day 4, day 14 is going to roll around and your resistance is going to come up. Your fear is going to come up. Your doubt is going to come up. And what's going to matter most in this entire process is what you are going to do when that is going to happen. Not if it's going to happen, but when it's going to happen. All of us with this challenge, we're trying to step into a new version of ourselves. Well, guess what? What's going to happen to the old one? You want to step into the new version of yourself, but the old one, I'm sorry, she doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to die. They don't want to die. So it's going to try and cling on to what it knows to be familiar. And when that happens, you have to be equipped to navigate through that moment so that you can meet your resistance and meet your doubts and meet your fears truthfully and honestly and with a whole lot of compassion, and still choose, keyword choose, to align with your future self. Both. Not just we're going to pretend that, the old self doesn't exist and we're going to toughen it out and toxic positivity it out and we're going to repeat our affirmations till we're blue in the face. No, we want to acknowledge that as always, every time we expand into the new version of reality, every time we expand into a new version of ourselves, there is going to come a point in time where your new and your old are going to clash. And you want to integrate that part of you so that not only does your past version of you feel seen and acknowledged and appreciated, but you don't want to get sucked into it so that you go back to what's familiar, repeating more and more of the same, wondering why nothing is happening or why nothing is changing. So I'm going to walk you through an exercise, and if you already have your playbook or you want to participate in the challenge, message me so that you can get the playbook, because that worksheet, that exercise is in there. You can print it out, you can use it, but it is an exercise that truthfully I invite you to do every single day. I told our team, I said, if you do nothing, do this. If that's the only thing you do each and every single day, you are gonna hit your goal, period. That's how powerful this exercise is. That's how important this exercise is. And you will see why in just a second. This particular exercise was adopted from one of the coaches that I'm currently working with. Her name is Gina Knox. And I love this exercise because it's kind of brought a lot of what I've done in the past with self-coaching, what I've done in the past with pre-planning my week. It's kind of a perfect blend of soul and strategy. It's a perfect blend of connecting with your future self, but in a way that actually moves you into action. And the exercise has 4 steps. Okay. So the first, you want to acknowledge how much you still have left until your goal. So let's say you set a goal for 20K before Christmas. And if you're starting today, congratulations, you're day 1 of the challenge. You have 20K by Christmas. That's your goal, 20K by Christmas. And so that's what you have left. You have 20K left in your goal. But let's say, like I started last week, because I started with this thought and developed the idea. Here we are. So if, let's say, using my example, we wanted to say, okay, I've got 20K till Christmas. I received like 8,000 yesterday. So I would take 20 minus 8, that's 12,000. So in that particular example, you would have 12,000 left. So you say, I have 12,000 remaining till my goal. If you're at the beginning, you've got 20K left, or whatever your number is. That's first. You want to visually see your goal. Then you want to do a brain and emotion dump. When you look at that number, what happens for you? What happens for you in your mind? What happens for you in your body? And you just want to take what's present and write it out without judgment and without automatically trying to coach yourself through it. I'll tell you what I mean by that. I'm going to use some examples of people that I've already done this with, right? One was, for example, okay, I've got 20K left in my goal and I feel a tightness in my chest. For example, you go, okay, and I feel a tightness in my chest because I'm scared. I'm actually scared. What am I scared of? Well, actually, I'm scared to succeed. Okay. What are you making it mean? When you succeed, what's going to happen? What are you scared is going to happen when you succeed? Well, actually, I'm scared that when I succeed, that it's going to invalidate my prior experience of struggle and suffering. Oh, I feel heavy in my chest because I feel like I'm afraid to succeed because it's going to invalidate all the years of struggle and suffering and hard work that I've done, right? I mean, that's pretty big. Another example, looking at my goal, and it sounds like a lot of work. Okay, it sounds like a lot of hard work will have to be done in order for me to hit this goal. Okay, what is hard work? When we say a lot of hard work, what is that? Well, talk to a lot of people. Well, learn new technologies. Well, drag people that, need me, babysit people, hold people's hands. And I don't want to do that. You want to acknowledge that this is what it feels like, and I don't want to do that. Now, what oftentimes happens when people do that, they go, yeah, but I love it, right? And they go and try to minimize their thoughts and their emotions. They go like, oh no, let me curate it. Let me manage it. Let me make it sound better. You don't want to do that. You want to literally say, hey, I see you. I feel you. I get it, right? You're scared, you feel tightness in your chest. It sounds like a lot of work. I mean, if that's how I felt, if those were my thoughts, I too would not want to do that, right? And then if that's just what's happening for your internal landscape, guess what? Of course, you're going to self-sabotage. Of course, it's going to be hard. Of course, it's not going to happen because your internal set point is it feels heavy. It's going to invalidate all of my life experience. It's going to be like a lot of hard work, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so that's the purpose of doing a thought and emotion dump, is to literally go, what's happening for me around that? Just put it there. No one is going to see it. It's literally for you. Don't judge it. Don't try to make it look better. Just get it out your system. When you are done, step 3 is, okay, what is also true? What is also true? Because you don't want to try and fight those thoughts and those emotions that you have. You just want to notice what other stories you could tell, what other thoughts you could think, what other emotional experiences you could have. So you want to ask yourself, what is also true? Well, what is also true, using the examples that I shared with you, for example, what is also true is that every single thing that I have been through in my life has prepared me for this moment. I've earned my right to a successful experience. I've earned it. Let's say the second one, always going to be a lot of hard work. Okay. For example, you go, okay, but I've done it in the past. And in the past, when I've done it, I've had systems to support me. So actually, every moment of every day, I enjoyed it. And you're literally noticing and giving yourself something else to stick your teeth in, okay? And chew on, versus the story that is just kind of stuck there. And by us trying to toxic positivity out of it, right? We only keep perpetuating it. We want to acknowledge it and say, cool, I get it. I see it. I won't be doing it either if I was feeling this way. And then we want to give ourselves an alternative story to tell. I gave you one at the beginning of today. I don't know if you noticed. A lot of you probably have some fear, doubt, and hesitation around the possibility of the 20K outcome of whatever goal you have. I said, yes, I'm scared I won't hit the number. What is also true is that anything I do is going to be infinitely better than 0. So even if your goal is 20K, but you only do 2K or 5K or 10K, that's going to be infinitely better than 0. And that is also true. So the purpose of this exercise, after you do your thought and your emotion dump, you actually want to go, what is also true? If I were to think creatively, what is also true? That people want to buy from me, that there are a lot of people looking for what I have to offer, that when I move decisively, money meets me also decisively, that when I enjoy what I'm doing, that abundance finds me. There are so many things that are also true that you could place your attention on and your focus on. So that's the third part of the exercise. And the fourth part of the exercise, and this is the most important part, this is how you become your own business coach. This is how you become your own strategist. This is how you become your own idea generator. This is how you never run out of options. By doing this part, you ask yourself, if I was absolutely certain that I could hit my goal, what would I do today? If I was absolutely certain that I could hit my goal, what would I do today? Oh, I would message so and so. Oh, I would come up with this idea. Oh, I would launch this thing. Oh, I would pull out this thing that has been sitting in my Google Drive that I wanted to launch 10 years ago and never did because I was scared. But guess what? I'm not scared anymore, so I'm going to launch it now. Oh, you are gonna have ideas, but you're not coming up with ideas from this scared, hesitant, frustrated, contracted space because you've done all the previous work. You're actually coming up with ideas from an aligned, expansive space that is connected and feels certain that your goal is a done deal. So you ask yourself, if I was absolutely certain that I can hit my goal, what would I do today? From that place of certainty, I know I can hit my goal. Great, future me, tell me where to go, what to do, who to talk to, because clearly you are the only one, dear future self, that has this shortcut. You, my dear future self, tell me. Okay. And then have her or him or them tell you. And then you literally write it down. Be like, okay, this idea, this thought. And please don't kill it. Don't judge it. Be like, oh yeah, I could never. Oh yeah, they don't want to hear from me. Just no, don't do that. Write it down. Okay. Don't kill it. So obviously, then you write it down. Guess what's next? Go do the damn thing. Pick one thing, and then go do it. Because we all want to be confident. We want to have this confidence in life, in business, in what we do, in who we are. And we forget that confidence is a byproduct of consistent, courageous action. And it is through consistent, courageous action that you build the confidence. And then, of course, the more confident you become, the more excited you are to take action. But when you have your ideas, guess what? The only thing left to do is to act on that idea today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, today. Like literally, whatever idea you wrote down that feels easy, simple, expansive, go act on it. Because when you act on it, guess what you're doing? This idea came from your future self. This idea came to you from source, God, the divine. And you've been blessed with this idea. You've written it down on a piece of paper. And when you act on it, you are saying, watch me. Watch me. I am going to do it. I'm going to do it because I want it, because I know I can have it. Like you are literally setting in motion new coordinates and new trajectory for yourself, versus that if you don't act on it, if you just sit on it, if you overthink it, guess what? Why would life, God, source, the universe, keep blessing you if you don't act on the blessings that it gives you now? So if you want more blessings in the form of clients, opportunities, money, invitations, recognition, you gotta start acting on the blessings that you have right now in the form of inspiration, in the form of impulses, in the form of ideas. Okay? So that's all I got for you today. Got a little passionate there. But to recap, this is not a passive challenge. I can't be on board with that, okay? I can't be encourager of that. This is a very much active sales challenge, because it is through sales that we make money on demand. It is through sales that we create value in the world. It is through sales that we generate resources in real time. And if you want to make more money, guess what? It comes from other people, which means that if you want to make more money, you need to talk to more people and you need to serve more people better, whatever that looks like for you, okay? In order for you to do that, you need to first and foremost tap into a place of certainty and go, do I actually believe and do I actually see this goal for myself as something that I can do? If so, cool, I can do it. Great. This is my game. I make the rules. I know that there is my current self, my future self. They're going to have a little bit of a tango to see who is going to take the lead. I want my future self to take the lead because my future self already did it. So I'm going to get into the practice, into the habit of moving as my future self would, while acknowledging the sticky, money blocking, momentum blocking thoughts and emotions that I have, because I understand that everything that's unintegrated is going to keep showing up in my life until I actually distill the wisdom of it and I integrate it for myself. So I'm going to take this exercise that Maria shared today, and for the next however many days we have left from now until Christmas, I'm going to do this exercise every single day. And every single day, I'm going to stare at my goal and how much I have left in that goal. Then I'm going to do an internal cleanse, an internal purge. I'm going to write down every thought I have, every worry I have, every emotion I have around it. I'm going to take it out of my system, get it out. And in this new open space that's going to be there, I'm going to choose what else is true. What else is true that I could focus on? What else is true that I could feel into? What else is true that I can act on? And then from that inspired, expansive, abundant space, I'm going to ask myself, if I was absolutely certain that my goal is a done deal and I can hit my goal, what would I do today? And then I'm going to write down my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 ideas that are going to come to me. And I'm going to pick one and I'm going to act on it. And then I'm going to go to bed knowing I did the thing. And then I'm going to wake up tomorrow and do it all over again and just watch how life is going to rearrange itself to reflect back to me my own courageous commitment to what I say I want. Okay? So, if you found this helpful, I have not been looking at the comments whatsoever. If you found this helpful, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your takeaways, your insights, your breakthroughs. If you don't yet have the link to the playbook that's going to go alongside this challenge, this 5-part series, either find the link somewhere here in the description or message me with the keyword challenge. I'm going to send it to you. Transformation requires active participation. Don't just sit here hoping like, I will work some magic on you. You get to work the magic. You work the magic by taking what resonates and acting on it, noticing what activates you and acting on it. And hopefully these daily trainings and the playbook will support you in doing that. If you have any questions, if you need me to clarify anything, drop it in the comments or send me a message. Either way works for me. And then tomorrow we will be back for part 2. We're going to talk about the energetics of sales. So if you have any sort of weird, uncomfortable thing around putting yourself out there and asking for the money, you want to be there. Okay. On that note, I love you all. Thank you for giving me your time, your energy, your attention. Please share with me the value of today. Please share with me your takeaways, and I will see you all back tomorrow. Bye, darlings.